happy to see all of you who have come to hear about staying determined in spiritual practices. Because determination is essential to accomplish anything in this world, and so also to attain spiritual success. And it is possible for most people to gather some determination for some time, but to remain and stay determined is the challenge. Today I want to tell you all, you don't have to struggle to stay determined. It's not essential to stay determined. Some of you may be wondering what's going on. Okay. There is an initial period of practice of spiritual life where you have to be determined, practice determination, remain determined, remind yourself to be determined. And that is the initial phase of Krishna consciousness. Everyone has to go through that. Because bhakti to Krishna is about, we can actually translate the word bhakti as love. It is love for Krishna. And Krishna does not want to impose his love on living entities who don't want to love him. You can't hold a gun and say, love me or else. You will all say, yes, yes, I love you. And slowly you will all walk out of the hall, fearing the gun in my hand. Isn't it? So I cannot impose, you love me or else. It will not work. So Krishna does not want to do that either. He has given the living entity freedom to decide, yatha ichchasi tatha kuru. As you wish, you do. So, determined practice of Krishna consciousness is to reaffirm to ourselves and to Krishna, I want to love you, Krishna. I have loved so many things in this world. I've loved my home. I've loved my family members. I've loved my family. I've loved my friends. I loved my country. I loved so many things. But all those different kinds of love did not satisfy me, did not give me happiness, and one day it ends. Adyantavanta kaunteya nateshu ramate buddhaha. All these different kinds of love has a beginning and an end. It ends because something else may change in the world, or we may die, or we are separated from our beloved. So knowing this, we want to love Krishna because we are eternally related to Krishna, and we want to understand that love for Krishna and develop that. And so we want to affirm and use our free will Krishna has said, Yatha Ichchasi. And we want to tell Krishna, my Ichcha is, I want to love you. And I will show that by my determined practice of Krishna consciousness. It is essential element of Krishna consciousness. Now, as a sadhaka, every now and then some big force of Maya will come and it takes away our determination. And then we feel, oh my God. Again, we have to rework. So sometimes devotees feel, is it really possible for me? Looks like my Maya is so powerful. This is the second stage about determination. If we continue to do determined effort in practice of Krishna consciousness, it looks like it is unsurmountable force of Maya. It is indeed unsurmountable. But one magic begins to happen. What is that magic? The magic is Krishna begins to help the sadhaka. That is the example conveyed by the story of the sparrow. You all know the story of the sparrow. It's a small bird. Once the ocean took away the eggs of the sparrow. And the sparrow was very sorry. The eggs are gone. But the sparrow was determined and flew to the ocean, picked up a few drops of ocean water, flew back to the land and spit it out, and back and forth, trying to empty the ocean to search for its eggs. It's an unsurmountable task. How can a small sparrow fly back and forth, carrying a few drops of water in its beaks, empty the ocean? Unsurmountable. When the bird was flying back and forth, determined, Garuda was watching. My little sister bird has been so harassed, and this Garuda came to the ocean and said, you return the eggs or else I will empty you. Ocean got threatened and the ocean got scared and said, okay, and returned the egg. And the sparrow got the eggs back. This is the magic. The Lord begins to reciprocate and help the sadhaka in his determined practice, because he starts getting the strength and potency of the practice from the Lord. That stage of determination becomes very easy. The third stage, remaining determined, always determined. The third phase is another wonderful gift of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, sadhana of bhakti has two distinct stages. One stage is known as Vaidhi Bhakti, and another stage is known as Raganuga Bhakti. To properly understand this, I'll give you one example. Some years ago, I got a call from one important supporter, donor, friend of our temple. And he called up and he said, Swamiji, we have bought a new house. And my wife said we should call devotees from ISKCON for the housewarming ceremony. So he said, Swamiji, can you come and do the housewarming ceremony? And he's an important donor. And so I couldn't say no. And so I said, yes, all right. We will come. We will be about 4 or 5 devotees. We will come. Then I was thinking as he was talking, and I could hear as he was speaking, there was some noise behind his, some chatter, some kind of a television sound or something like that. Anyway, he was speaking. So I was thinking, we do in our temple, Narsimha Homa. So I think, okay, let's do, because he's an important man. So he asked me, Swamiji, how long will you all come? How long you will take? I said about 45 minutes, 1 hour. He said, no, Swamiji, 1 hour, 45, that's too long. So can you make it shorter? I said, okay, we can try to make it half an hour. So I thought we'll do a quick yajna. And he said, no, Swamiji, 30 minutes, also too long. I said, all right, we will drop yajna. We'll do just kirtan. So I said, 20 minutes? He said, no, Swamiji, 20 minutes is also too long. I said, okay. Short kirtan, I thought. So we'll do it in 15 minutes. Then he said, Swamiji, even 15 minutes, can you do in 10 minutes? So I was thinking, we go all the way to his house and just do 10 minutes and be out. Anyway, meanwhile, before I could answer, he said, Swamiji, 1 minute. And that noise in the background went up suddenly. He said, Swamiji, one second. You see, India-Pakistan cricket is going on. I'll call you after 15 minutes. If you don't mind, Swamiji. And he put the phone down. So then I was waiting for his 15 minutes, didn't call at all. Anyway, he called the next day. So here, this is something very interesting to analyze what happened in this phone call. Later on, I was reflecting. You see, he wants some spiritual, religious program to happen in his house because his wife is asking him to call us. And he wants to do that. And he wants it to be as short as possible. Because there is no attraction for all these spiritual, religious activities. And his attraction is elsewhere, as it was proved when something went up, some climax in the cricket match. He said he was not even interested in talking to me. And he said, I'll talk to you later. And he said he wanted to watch the television, something going on. Because his attraction was for that. You see, we go where we are attracted to. He was talking to me, but his attraction was elsewhere. And naturally, he went away to that. What do we learn from this? What is that message that I am trying to convey? This is an important and interesting feature of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. He says, initially in a determined way, one has to practice Krishna consciousness and continue to be determined. And then the Lord will begin to help us. And then it becomes even more easier. Maya, which is appearing to be unsurmountable, becomes easier to surmount by the blessings of the Lord. Because Lord is empowering and supporting and protecting the devotee. And then he comes to a stage of the next stage of bhakti called Raganuga Bhakti. Raga means attraction. Anuga means anugamishati, means to go after. To go after where you are attracted to. The jiva, we are all inherent, one of the inherent quality of the jiva is to be a lover of Krishna. When we do sadhana in a determined way and Maya is overpowering us, Krishna begins to help us and protect. And if we continue to do it in a determined way, we'll come to a stage of Raganuga Bhakti where we are naturally drawn to Krishna. And at that time, you don't have to struggle with your determination. You are naturally determined because you are attracted to Krishna. So, bhakti, spiritual practice, religious practice is not always according to rules and regulations. It is according to rules and regulations in the initial stages, and it is very essential. After a certain point of spiritual progress, when the sadhaka becomes attracted to Krishna, then he is naturally attracted to Krishna, and he does not have to be struggling to remain determined, because he is naturally determined. Prabhupada gives a very nice example to understand all these things. To go where we are attracted to, that's the meaning of Raganuga. Raga, Anuga. Go after where your raga is, attraction is. I'm sure all of you, every one of you, were small children some years ago. And when you were a small child, you had some toy and you were very attached to the toy. If somebody takes away the toy, you will cry, and your father or mother has to bring back a toy, give it to you. You were so attracted to that toy, right? Maybe some stuffed toy or a motor car. Boys are all attracted to that kind of toys, right? So something all of you were attracted to. And then you grew up and the toy went away somewhere. Then you got attracted to many other things in life, and now you are busy studying, doing this, that, different things that you are attracted. And that attraction to the toy is gone. You are not attracted to the toy, nor are you feeling, oh, sad, I lost my attraction to the toy. No, you're happy, you're now attracted to many bigger things, nicer things, more serious things in life. Isn't it? You don't even regret. It's gone and it's gone over. Do you have to every day struggle? No, the toy that's attracting me and I should keep away from the toy. Do you struggle like that every day? Nothing. Already the toy was given away somewhere. Isn't it? One will. Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, there is a stage of development of bhakti of Krishna where we will come to the stage of Raganuga and we are spontaneously attracted to Krishna. And at that time, we don't have to be struggling to be determined, because you're naturally determined and attracted to Krishna, determined not to be engaged in Maya's activity. One will come to that stage, and at that time, you are naturally determined to stay away from Maya. We will be naturally attracted to Krishna. When I learnt about this at some point in my spiritual life, I was so relieved, because I was always struggling, chanting, doing different things. So I was thinking, whole life I have to be struggling like this. Then when I read from Srila Prabhupada's books, Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu shows all the different evidence from the Vedic literatures, how there is a sadhana stage, Vaidhi Bhakti stage, and then there is a Raganuga stage. And At that time, you're naturally, the word used is spontaneously attracted to Krishna. Remember, we studied in science spontaneous changes. Changes which happens automatically. Like water flowing from a higher level to a lower level, it's a spontaneous action. If the water has to flow from a lower level to a higher level, it is not spontaneous. You need a pump. You need to spend energy to pump the water up. Isn't it? So, in the same way, we will be spontaneously attracted to Krishna. And then at that stage, determination is a natural thing. It's a given thing. We don't have to be struggling. So we have to be determined and stay determined in the initial stages till the different development of bhakti happens. All technical things. It's called anartha nivritti. It's all the dirty things in our heart should go away. When all those things are gone, one becomes nishtha, one develops ruchi, then one develops asakti, attachment. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu further says, Raganuga is not the final stage. You are attracted to Krishna. Raganuga stage further develops and matures and becomes prema bhakti, full blossoming of love of Krishna in the heart of a devotee. These are all very systematically explained by our acharyas from the Shastra. So please don't think that this love of Krishna, bhakti of Krishna is some kind of a sentimental stuff. It is a real development that can happen in the hearts of every living entity, because love of Krishna is a natural treasure in the heart of every living entity. We just have to uncover it. And for that, we have to do determined practice, because we want to tell Krishna, I really want to love you. And that is the position of determination, very important in spiritual life. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.